Hey everybody, welcome to Bizchicks TV. This is the place to be for tips, tools, strategy, and everything you need to build a profitable business that's fun to run and to take the hassle out of your hustle. It's Tuesday. That means the digital diva is in the house. Terry Johnson online from New York City. We are here today because Terry's going to be bringing us some more good information regarding the creator economy. Now, this is part two, so you probably want to go back and look up part one, but this is Creator Economy Part Two. And TJ, take it away.
Hello, everybody. Good morning. I don't know what something is going on with my Chrome, and I can't get what I need to show up. So excuse me for a second.
Oh, no worries.
It's
Uh,
like,
okay, this is called technology, and people are doing stuff, and stuff
yeah.
is happening. And so we want to welcome everybody that's watching live and those of you who are joining us on the replay. Every Tuesday, TJ brings us some information that we can use immediately in our business. We are constantly making tweaks to our
Mhm.
systems, tweaks to how we do things to make sure everything gets better and better. So,
So yeah. So for some reason, my Chrome is acting up. So I think I got it right now.
okay.
So I'm trying to bring up some links. I always forget to have the links ready, and now they're not ready. Okay, so welcome to this week where we and hi Mark. Mark Ward is here, said trick or treat. Yes, it is
That's probably why.
Halloween.
He probably saying that's probably why, but anyway.
It could be. It could be. So that's the welcome to the Halloween edition of Bizchicks Marketing Tuesday, where we talk about marketing topics and trends and things that are happening, what's in the news, and try to bring you data, studies, whatever's going on. So we want to talk today about the Creator Academy, and we talked about this maybe 2 weeks ago. And I was saying how the creator economy is here, and what that means is that we are no longer business owners or influencers or what have you. It is the creator economy. That's what it's
Hmm.
being called. It is the area where you're able to create, and this is what I said the last time, that you're able to create the life that you want now.
Yeah, it's true. It is really true.
Right. We have the tools, we have the information, we have the data, we have AI, and it's it's not, you don't have an excuse anymore for not doing the thing that you want to do. The only thing holding you back is mindset, is what I was saying. But now I've got some things to back it up. And let me bring up this article from Goldman Sachs. Let's bring that on stage. Now, this is dated April 10th, April, no, not 10th, 19th, April 19th of this year. Let me scroll on over to it. The creator economy could approach $500 billion by 2027. So let's talk about creator economy. What is it? It is where you can create a business, a brand, go online on social media, talk about the thing that you want to talk about, that you're passionate about, whatever line you want to use. People say, oh, talk about what you're passionate about, what you like. You can turn that into a life that sustains you financially, is really what it's about. So it's called the creator economy. We're not talking about influencers. They are a part of the creator economy, but business owners are also a part of the creator economy because you are doing things online. You're trying to reach your customers, your client. You're trying to build a client base, a brand, an audience, whatever term you want to pick out of that, pick out of that. But you're online and you're a part of this process. Okay, so here's a little bit I want to read from this Goldman Sachs article. Individual people with their own brands and online audience have emerged as one of the biggest developments of the digital age. The ecosystem is expanding for a number of reasons, including the increase in digital media consumption and the advent of technology that has lowered barriers to content creation. So and they're saying new platforms like TikTok have emerged. You also have the old standards of Facebook and YouTube. They have introduced short form video and live streaming and other forms of user generated content. And here's a graph, but this is for influencer marketing, which I said is a part of creator economy. So you can see the trend is forcing us to ramp up. US influencer marketing spend on major platforms 2019 to 2024. I let the numbers speak. I let the chart speak.
Right. So what I'm seeing here, TJ, is if you are not online doing something to reach your clients, you are at a disadvantage looking at
Yeah.
the way things have been in the past is no longer, you know, radio, television, that type of stuff it's not doing the same. You have to get out here
Yes.
and
Yes.
get involved.
You have to get out here and get involved. So for
Mm.
those who, we talked about, there's been a lot of talk about influencers, mostly Gen Z, who don't want to work a traditional 9 to 5. They realize they don't have to. That makes the older boomer generation, that upsets them, because it's like, well, we had to do it. You have to do it. Really started with millennials. They were more like, okay, well, we're not going to do things traditionally. But Gen Z really came up and was like, okay, I'm not going to college. I'm not going to work a corporate 9 to 5 job where I'm a cog in a wheel. I want remote work from home. I want benefits. I want this and that. So a lot of traditional businesses and corporations are like slow to make the change. Naturally, they want you in the office. So there's that fight that's going on there. So Gen Z goes, well, I got TikTok, I got Instagram, I got this, I got that. All I gotta do is make a short form video, and they're not even creating things, they're just doing, they're just talking.
I saw a young lady. She's got millions of followers or subscribers. I'm not going to say followers, subscribers.
Mm-hmm.
Millions of subscribers. She's what, 20 maybe?
Mm-hmm.
And millions of subscribers. And I'm looking at her videos and I'm like, okay, somebody wants to see this.
Yeah.
And she's not selling a product because she's not an influencer in that sense, but she's bringing entertainment. My granddaughter showed me another YouTuber from England,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and they sit around and have high school students eat flaming hot, stuff from America.
Flaming hot Cheetos.
Yeah, have them, try this. This is an American.
Oh yes, I've seen those. The American candy versus the European candy, because it's different.
Right. And the food from America is different. And
Right.
so the excuse me,
Mm-hmm.
those YouTubers, I believe it's Jolly. I was like, these people, there are people watching other people taste food from the United States, and they just recording their reaction on stuff. They're getting paid, and it's not like sponsorship paid.
Right. It's not brand sponsorship, although that is a part of it. What they're realizing is that they can just be themselves, and the money comes to them in the form of, they sell a digital product. They get a
Right.
brand sponsorship from a corporation. They build an audience that buys their products. It's multi-layered, multi-leveled. It's not one traditional path.
Right.
See, that's the key to it. I think that's what confuses a lot of people who have grown up to where, okay, you go to college, you get a job 9 to 5, you work for 50 years, and you get a gold watch and you retire. That scenario, we don't do that anymore. There's not even people who are in the boomer age, or if they're still working, it's not you work 50 years and get a retirement party. It's just, you're gone.
you good to get a watch,
Yeah,
and not a gold one. Um,
exactly.
Old man
I got a
Steve.
clock, but not
Old
enough they
man
gave me the
Steve.
clock.
What did he do?
Oh yes, oh man, Steve. And by the way, I put the link to the Goldman Sachs article over there. Yeah, old man Steve on TikTok, which I have not checked on him. Let me check on him. Um, him and a lot of older senior influencers is what they're calling them.
Oh, senior influencers.
I saw an article about that, and I forgot to include that, but we'll talk about that another time. But there's a whole class of 65 and up influencers.
Because okay, and they're probably the ones who've been watching Gary Vee, and they are doing the creator thing, right?
And
And
a
doing it
lot
quite
of these, yeah, a lot. I'm sorry, a lot of these older senior influencers have grandchildren. That's how they get into it. The
right.
grandchildren of the Gen Zs are showing, "Hey, grandma, come on and get on the video with me," or "Grandpa, what?" That's how they're getting on.
Yeah, and there's no reason why we cannot be creator economists.
Yeah. So old man Steve is still here. He has 1.7 million followers, 32 million likes. His bio says, "I'm from Texas, y'all." His last video was 28 minutes ago. Happy Halloween. Um, his videos range from, he gets 4,800 views to 15,000 views. He's had a couple that have gone viral in the millions, and he's still doing this. And I'll tell you why. I didn't read the senior influencer article. I bookmarked it, but I already kind of know with senior influencers, this is their way of socializing. They
Mm-hmm.
realize they don't have to sit in an old folks' home in a rocker and waiting for the grandkid. Nobody comes to visit us.
Oh, they don't
This is
care.
what they're doing.
And then
Gra-
they got a bunch of grandchildren and stuff in the way of their subscribers.
yes, they have visitors. They have it's a form of social interaction, and it's called social media. This is how it's supposed to work. That lots of medical studies show that the older you get, the more social interaction you need. But a lot of people in that age bracket don't have people that come visit them, or the young folks are too busy, whatever the excuse is. This is their way of interacting and getting that social feeling to where they feel happy and their life has some meaning in their older golden years.
Right.
So that's what, and here's the plus. I got to go back and read the article, but I know it's in there that brands and corporations want their audiences because they have money. They have money. They have money to spend. That's all they care about. And I know the golden age range for advertisers is 18 to 34, preferably male. That is like the golden ticket in ad world. But there's other generations, other age ranges that have money, discretionary money to spend. So that's what they want, discretionary money. So a senior influencer can pick up their phone and just they're not productions. They're not set up the lights and this. They go out on the porch. They go outside. They sit in a rocking chair by the window and pull out the phone and they talk. And there's a lot of why would you want that? Because it's real, authentic, it connects. There are people out there that don't have grandparents who feel
Right.
like I'm going to follow this lady or this old man Steve because they give me a grandfatherly, a grandmotherly feel. It
Okay,
makes
so
me
now,
feel good.
so you got digital grandparents.
Yes.
Hmm.
A matter of fact, I saw another story about, I think it was in Tokyo, that they're hiring out toddlers to go to the old people's retirement home for interaction for the old people,
And
for the elderly.
here on our walking path that we have, there are signs up where they're asking people to be a walking buddy to
Yes,
seniors.
yes.
So
Now, hey,
seriously,
take that as you will. And I forgot to bookmark the story. I was gonna bring it up real quick while you're talking.
Yeah, because
I know it was
this is good. So if I'm hearing you correctly, there is no age limit for you being a creator economist. You just sharing your wisdom. Somebody needs to share the wisdom you've accumulated over the years.
yes. So here we go. I found it. I want to bring it up, and I was like, okay, this is another one I gotta read. And okay, I thought I had it. What happened? Took it down. I took it down. Where did it go? Oh, here we go. And this is NBC News.
Mm.
Toddlers are put to work spreading cheer at a Japanese nursing home. So they hired 70 babies to brighten the days of residents in a country where loneliness is a growing social problem.
Wow.
Imagine that. I was like, they hired a bunch of babies to go and they do this with pets. I mean, I've heard this with pets. They will bring cats and dogs to the nursing home, but this they are bringing the parents are bringing the children so the older people can interact with them. Brighten the day of the residents whose own grandchildren rarely visit.
Mm.
I'm just saying that's
Wow.
this is a part of it, and it's not free. They hired it. They didn't say, oh, we need 70 babies, come on over for charity. No, they're paying the parents are being paid.
And this is the creator economy.
Yes,
This
this is
because
all of this is part of it.
this would not have happened uh 50 years ago.
No, it
Because
wouldn't have happened 10 it didn't happen 10 years ago.
you would have went and visit grandma. Somebody would have went, but mm, 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 mm.
So I mean, what do we say? There's a lot to say. um I had another, and I was gonna post this on my stories. Let me see if I can get this one to come up. It was the Washington Post did a story this morning, and they give you a freebie. So if I think you should be able to get it because they're behind a paywall. And well, let me give you the toddler story. I'm gonna put that in. I'll put that in the comments. I got a bunch of stuff popping up. I can't. Oh, there it is. So many things. I love Chrome, but I got too many extensions. Okay, so there's the toddler story. If you're interested in that, I thought that was really interesting.
I think so too.
All right, let me get the Washington.
So the creator economy, it's changing everything. It's no more business as usual when it comes to the way people interact with one another.
Right. Now, this is another link in there. This is the Washington Post story. I'll show this one. This is what I saw, when I'm looking at my I'm looking at my news, like what's happening this morning. I'm drinking coffee. I'm like, what's going on today? And this pops up, and this made me really happy. This what made me happy. This is the Washington Post. Key takeaways from our deep look at the creator economy. So it's not just me talking about it. Here's the Washington Post. Here's NBC News. Expect to hear more about this. Goldman Sachs. Um, they're doing studies on it because social media is changing. And I always say that it's changing. It's not what it was in 2008 when we started with Twitter, and the way we were giving out information. I remember Twitter got on my radar when the Miracle on the Hudson. Remember that the airplane, Captain Sully took off from LaGuardia, and there was a bird strike in the engines, and one of the engines went out, or both of them. I can't remember, but he was coming. He was like, okay, there's the Hudson. That's a runway. He knew the plane was not waterproof, but it had some buoyancy to it, because you would think How can a plane, a 747, 7 whatever it is, how can that sustain? How can that be on the river? How without? And then so what happened was that they landed. The people got out. They were standing on the plane, and all of the rescue boats, tugboats, Coast Guard was going out because they got a call. There's a plane on the Hudson. And I remember that. I was like, what the what? There's a plane on the Hudson River. So some person who wasn't a first responder, who wasn't any of that, had a phone and had Twitter and took a picture and put it on Twitter. And that's when Twitter, people were like, what the? Because the picture was like incredible. Like you couldn't believe it. And so that was kind of like the birth of this social media, this internet can be a thing of good and not just here's what I had for lunch. Because that's what they were doing before that happened. People were on Twitter and whatever saying this is my lunch and taking a picture of lunch and just regular mundane things. This was even before the news organizations were on Twitter. This was way before that, before people knew what a Twitter was and follow us on Twitter and all that. It was because of that Miracle on the Hudson picture where the guy was on the tugboat, the Coast Guard boat, and he took a picture. So he happened to be there in the moment because there was no, they found cameras after the fact, because there's cameras everywhere on the buildings and stuff. So they saw one where the plane was coming in. But that person, that guy was on the boat and he was like, let me take a picture of this. And he put it on his Twitter and it just exploded. And that was, what was that, 2007, 2008? I'm trying to remember the date. That's it right there. That. The guy was just on. I don't know how he got on, but he wasn't a first responder or anything. He was just there. I can't remember the story, but what date is that? You know what date that is? Is there a date? You're muted, friend. Hold on.
Let me see what year that was, because yeah, that
Was that
talked about
flight
how many people.
1549? Okay, let me do.
I'm gonna have to go and check the date. I did not look at the date when I did this. Let me see this. Oh, could be in Wikipedia.
This was January 15, 2009. This when the flight landed. U.S. Airways flight 1549 was leaving LaGuardia and it had a geese, Canadian geese bird strike. And it happens all the time. Like they say, oh, this happens all the time. The birds get sucked into the engine. But for some reason, this one took out one or both of the engines. And it just happened to be that the pilot of the plane was somebody who had like 30 years of experience. Like anybody else, this would not have happened. And they made a great movie about it. Tom Hanks plays Captain Sully.
Right.
And he knew that the type of plane he had was waterborne or water something. Because
where it would be able to.
I mean, you can see the plane is like, it's not sinking. It's sitting on top. So, but that picture was taken by someone on one of the boats that was going to rescue because the people. I remember the story was like a plane is not in the Hudson; it's on top.
On the Hudson.
All the first responders, Coast Guards, everybody around him was like, that can't be. And that one person on one of the boats took the picture, and I cannot remember the guy's name. But that's when Twitter was like, it did exploded into what it became. But before that, social media was like, oh, I'm walking my dog. It's my lunch.
It was more social journaling than it was social capturing, the
what it is today. It's not. So I bring that up because that's the evolution of social media. We started out then, and I remember those days. It was like, okay. Now it's like we're here at the creator economy. And I this story, the Washington Post story came out today. They did a whole series on it, and then I got the Goldman Sachs story. But how I got here is, let me show you this one. So, where'd it go? Um, Sorry guys, I gotta share my screen again. Okay, I follow someone named Angela Davis. Can you see that? Okay,
Mm-hmm.
Angela Davis. Let me go back to it so I can read it. She goes by the name the Kitchenista. She is a home chef. She cooks in her home. She's not a professional. She didn't go to school for it, but she's a professional chef. She has a book. She has cookbooks and this and that. And I follow her. And then she had a post before this one where she was like, what's going on with Instagram? Nobody's seeing my post. And I was trying to find that post, but I couldn't find it. But I brought this one up. This is the end result. So there was a big discussion about Instagram change the algorithm. Why do I have to work to make people see my posts? This is not right. So then she got a lot of suggestions in the post to ask people to engage, ask people to like and share. So she put this post up. And let me read a little bit of it. She says, "Please be kind and remember that I am human as a person recovered from abuse." So she has a story. So she was like, "These are some of the things you can help me just feel respected, supported, appreciated." And then she was saying, what she was saying was, "I'm trying to get people to see my content," and she made this post, "What to do." And I saw this, and I wish I could find the other one, but I can't find it. But what
So,
it is that it opened up a whole discussion, and I saw some people on my threads too. I was trying to find the thread, and there's no way to save the thread. So on threads this weekend, there was another couple of people going, "We're mad at Instagram because my business is dead because no one is seeing my posts." It was that type of discussion that they were mad because Instagram had changed the algorithm again, which it does all the time. And now no one is seeing my post. Is not fair. And they were angry. And but the one lady, I wish I'd screenshot it because there was no way to save it. I was trying to find it. She basically was saying that Instagram is killing her business and she's gonna have to leave or something to that effect. And I went in. Let me see if I can bring up my. I made a post. I didn't reference her, but I was just saying Instagram is not your business. What we've been talking about forever.
mm-hmm. And
Let me go to it.
about making somebody else responsible for your
Yes,
success.
yes,
That doesn't happen. You're responsible for your own success.
yes. You're responsible for your own success. So I think I posted. Oh, here we go. So I posted. If you say the things your target audience wants or need to hear, you will be found online. What is going on with all this begging for followers? So that's what's going on now. For some reason, they're saying that the Instagram doesn't show their posts, so they have to work harder. And this one person, I wish I screenshot it because I wanted to show you, but saying that her she's going out of business because people can't see her posts on Instagram. Literally, her business is
Okay.
dead.
Well, but
When there are places to go and other things to do. So as a side to that, I reshared this post from somebody on Threads. I thank goodness the majority of my income comes from blogging and not Instagram. The way I see people complaining about the algorithm, I just can't. People are able to find my blog posts on Google all the time. Google is bomb hand raised. So this person got a lot of interaction, and they were talking about they blog. And then someone goes, "I need to start back blogging." And she says, "Most definitely." And we talked about that as blogging dead.
No, and blogging is not dead.
It's not that.
And you technically can blog on Instagram and point, say something from your blog and point people to your blog.
It's not Instagram. It is your message. Your message you can stand on the corner. There was a real famous person called Malcolm X. Back he would go the wholesale Teresa in Harlem and stand on the corner and have all of these people listening to his message. And that was pre-social media, pre everything, because he had something to say that people wanted to hear, that he connected with the people. That's it. It's not Instagram. And here's another one that I hate, that Instagram is being biased against a certain culture.
No, they are not.
Actually, two cultures. And I'm not going to mention because I don't want to get into that, but
It's because you don't have something somebody want to engage with.
and I've thought real hard about this because now, and they brought AI into it, and I was like, yes, AI is biased because it's built on bias. It's built on society. Society is biased. The world is biased. That doesn't make it right. I'm just explaining why you would think that we got a new tool, generative AI, that would come out the box and be colorblind when it learned
With
on
whatever
what's
was
been
out there.
available since the Gutenberg press.
Okay, so here's the thing. Even if AI is biased, you're not supposed to be copying and pasting anyway. You're
It can be
supposed
fixed. It can be
yes,
fixed.
but if you ran something and it doesn't sound like your voice or it doesn't sound like something you would say, you're supposed to take it at that point and tweak it so that it sounds like you. You're not
Okay,
supposed to copy and paste that stuff.
so case in point, I'm starting to get in the more generative AI imagery, making images, but I want to make images for a certain culture. So, but when I went in to DALL-E and Midjourney, whatever tool you want, and I said, give me a picture of a princess, just for example, all the princesses came back a certain color, the majority of the world's color. That's not what I want. So I had to go in and put in what I wanted. I could put in African American, Asian, whatever culture. I got to put that in. A lot of people are upset with having to do that. I understand, but you have to understand what it was built on. It's just code. It was built on this code that focuses on the majority of a certain culture in the world. That's what it returns until you tell it specifically what you want. You have to specifically say what you want.
Oh, ask for what you want.
You
Okay.
have, and when I do that, when I say specifically what I want, I get what I want. And I'm like, okay, I'm good. Because I know that it's all code built on it's not the teacher of generative AI is you, society, the world. What's going on in the world? Hate, racism, but also there's charity and giving and kindness. All of that
It's
is
all
in
there.
there.
Yeah, it's there.
Yeah. Now, I'm not saying that that's right or perfect, but it's up to us to refine it and to go to OpenAI, to go to Dolly, to go to Midjourney, whoever, and say, hey, can you guys fix this? Or this is a problem. Can you work on it? But
And they are working on it.
to sit on the sideline and complain and complain and complain and don't get in the game and make the change, that's not how it works either. So there was a lot of complaining online, and I was just like, I'm just tired of this, because you can get what you want with the creator economy. You know, we just said, what was it, 270 trillion billion, whatever the big number is. You can get a part of that. You can be a part of that. You can change your world to get what you need from that, but you must understand how it works. It's a tool. I always say it's a tool. How does a screwdriver work? You have to know how it works. Then you get what you want. You get a house, or it is a destructive tool that can harm somebody. But that's
Right.
the intent of it. So do we say, oh, the screwdriver is bad? Do we say that? No.
Mm-mm.
So there was a lot of that this weekend, and it was just, I wish I had saved the thread, because now I can't find it. It's lost. I'm not following the person. It's lost in a sea of threads. So then I tweeted at, or not tweeted. Let me not say tweet. I threaded, or whatever the word is for threads, at Adam Mosseri, and said, "Listen, you guys got to get a bookmark feature in here, because I'm thinking if I liked it, maybe it was under my likes, but that's not what's there." So I spent a whole bunch of time trying to go back, and I was just like, "This is real crazy," because that thing. That's the kind of thing that gets to me when people come online and say, "Well, Instagram is bad. Instagram is doing this. It's not perfect. It's not great." I'm not saying that. I'm saying, and I get this straight from Gary Vaynerchuk, it's free. It's free for now. But guess what? They came out with a story yesterday. Meta is charging over in EU. I think it's $13 a month or something. Let me
Okay.
see.
And then
That came out yesterday.
I think X is starting to charge too, $3.
Well, yeah. Well, see, X was charging the blue, the Twitter
No,
blue.
not
No,
blue.
I know. Yeah, the regular.
I'm
Just yeah.
$3 a month, huh? Really?
We got a comment from Mark.
Mark says, if sustainability of your business is based on a single entry point, you need to reevaluate your marketing plan and your business.
Thank you. Perfectly 100%. That is the point that I'm trying to make. Then this gets back to, I've said before that people are lazy because of social media. What did you do before social media to build your business? You do that, but you do it online. Like Mark says, if one platform, Instagram, can kill your business, how? You're not in business. And then to say, well, we're leaving. I said, bye. We're still here. And you better get ready, because Meta is saying that this is in Europe, and I've seen a lot of comments. Oh, it's in the EU. It's not. It's coming here. You think that Meta gets a taste of subscription money from over in the EU? They don't want to bring that over here and get more money, because they're a business. A business is about making more money.
You and Gary Vee and some other people have been telling us for years, enjoy it while it's free, because paid is coming and paid is knocking on the door.
I think I said this, that they would come. I know I said it, but I also said that there would be a free. It would stay as it is with ads, but there would be a version. And YouTube has been doing this for years, so it's not. Don't get upset. Don't get shocked. I've seen a lot of people mad. Oh, they're never paying. Okay, then you live with the ads.
Right. And this is so, people are used to paying for ad TV because Disney, Netflix, Hulu, everybody, you will watch commercials unless you get the ad-free
top tier. Yep.
You're going to get a commercial.
So Meta is so they're saying a 9.9 euros per month in the EU, 12.99 euros per month on iOS and Android, to account for additional fees for those platforms. So
I just think they're mad because they can't get no traffic. They can't get tracking on us.
This comes out because, over in the EU they have different privacy laws, and they don't, you can't track with ads and things like that. And Meta said, okay, we won't do that, but you're gonna have to pay.
Right. And if you have an iOS device, you're paying more because Apple ain't letting you get tracked unless you want to be tracked.
So it says the ad-free subscription will only be available to people 18 and older in the EU, EEA, and Switzerland. It will initially apply across all linked Facebook and Instagram accounts. Starting March 1st, 2024, there will be an additional fee of €6 on the web or €8 on iOS and Android per linked account. Okay. So that means that if you have more than one account and you want to have the ad free experience, then it's an extra fee. And we'll talk
So
about this more on Friday. But this came out, and I was like, I told you.
what with this going on, we now need to shift now
Yes.
as to what you're going to do with your business when this hits.
And it's not the free part of Meta is not going away. It's just that the people that complain about, oh, the ads, the ads, the ads. Well, you watch the ads or you pay for the ad free experience, just like on every other platform Fran just said about Hulu and everybody else.
You know what they're doing is they're adopting the YouTube model.
Yeah, this is the YouTube model. YouTube is and the way that, and then remember, YouTube used to show one ad. Now they show a bunch of ads, and there are two at the beginning, non-skippable, and then you're watching, and then there's another ad, and another ad, and another ad.
And they're slowly, it looks like they're slowly getting rid of the skippable ones.
Yeah, there's no skip. You got to sit there and watch it.
So
they
now
are pushing you to the premium.
So if you are watching, so this makes it that if you are a creator, if I'm looking at just what YouTube is doing, if you are creating on Instagram and you've got followers or subscriptions or whatever you've got going on, then it's may come to pass that Instagram will pay you like they pay on YouTube.
Mm-hmm. They were working on it. Remember, they had the creator fund, but they dropped it. So this they're going to look at the TikTok model. Well, TikTok is trying to focus on shopping, which I don't think is going to work because it works over in Asia, but it doesn't work here because culturally it's different. And speaking of YouTube, I had this quote from I think this was the Washington Post story. In the United States, the video giant YouTube estimates that roughly 390,000 full-time jobs last year were supported by creators' work, 4 times the number of people employed by General Motors, America's biggest automaker. So you're what this is showing is that people are going to YouTube, making it work, supporting themselves and families, doing what they love. Hopefully they are. And it's equivalent to a job at General Motors or a job wherever where you are unhappy or you want to work from home and your company doesn't offer that. What do you do? Before this, before you create economy, you had to suck it up, keep the job, or find another job. And sometimes that didn't work out. So now here's your third option, the creator economy. Brought to you by millennials and Gen Z. Brought to you by them, which we've met, boomers made fun of them. Oh, the YouTubers, they're just on dancing. And they're dancing towards money. They're dancing towards happiness. They're dancing towards they created a life that they love. They can work when they want or not. And remember, Gen Z, this group is not into buying big screen TVs. They couch surf. They nomad life. They hobo. They have a bag. Like, remember the hobo with the scarf and the stick and walking? That's what they want. Or here's another big thing that they do is the not the van, the golf, the trailer life. They have the trailers life. And that's big too.
Right. And you had it right when you said van. There are people who are living in their vans, not in the way that you think, but living in their vans, and they go from place to place and cook.
And some even have I was thinking of the fancy trailer, the big silver ones that they haul on the back
Airstreams.
Yeah, Airstreams. Right. That's the luxury version of it.
And they are living life. They go to a beach that they want.
They go
They
to the
and they're RVing. Okay, remember when RVing was a boomer thing?
Yes, it's not anymore.
RVing is like the Gen Zs and people are taken to the boom, taken to the uh,
Right.
RV
So
life.
it's no longer, the retirees getting them selling a house, getting an RV, or keeping a house, getting an RV and going and traveling, and that was like a negative thing. Now it's a cool life thing. The Gen Z and millennial has made work. So this creator comes out of that. But
And
there's a bad side. Now, we got to talk about the bad side of this creator economy, is that what this lady was complaining about in her business. If you have a drop off in audience, or you change your a lot of people start out doing one thing because it makes money, but it doesn't make them happy, and they want to switch lanes or switch industries, or talk about, maybe they talked about makeup and fashion, and now they want to talk about wellness. Well, your audience may have started out with you with one thing, and now you want to do something else. So you always got that level of, I have to start at zero, which can be disheartening for a lot of people. I've seen that this weekend because a lot of people are leaving X, coming over the threads, and there's, I gotta talk. I had 100,000 on Twitter, and now I'm coming over here, only got 100. Somebody else made a great comment, 100 or 500, and it was like, well, think about that. If you were in a auditorium or a place that had 500 people, would you be so downcast? And no, you're looking at a sea of 500 people. So why is it different online? So there was a lot of that, a lot of, I got to start from zero. But if
okay,
you have a
okay, so
message,
wait, if I'm one of the 500, what am I, chopped liver that you can't talk to me?
hey, William.
And I'm gonna get Mark's point too. William said
Oh, okay.
at that point
Hmm.
now, so I decided to keep the thing that's making money and use it to grow the new channel. What
Smart
a
move.
thought.
See, you're doing two channels. Am I right? See, a lot of people don't want to do that. Again, I'm gonna call it what it is: lazy.
Oh, the L word.
I've said it way back. If you want to do two different things, and for the reason I just said, if you started talking about fashion and makeup, and now you want to switch to golfing or sports or something that's totally different from the original audience, don't expect those people to move with you, because they came to you for the fashion makeup advice, but you want to switch to your passion, which is golf, or I'm just throwing, whatever it is, that's not what that is. You're gonna have to
Exactly.
start over. That's not a bad thing.
Right. And doing a couple of channels is work. I cannot talk about um, business and stuff and then start talking about real estate. Do you understand what I mean?
Right.
That's a disconnect, and everybody don't want to hear about this. I
And I'm
have
gonna
to
tell
do
you
two
why,
channels.
when we suggest that you have two of this, one personal, one this, one that, it's because you are setting up a set. You're not just pulling out your phone and being authentic, which is where we are now. Thank Gen Z for that. They want, pick up the phone and start talking, not get your lights and your set and your background and your green screen and your this. Those days are over. They don't want that. So if you have less time with a setup and a production, like you're shooting an ad, if you're not doing that, you've got more time to make creative, authentic, off the cuff, my opinion content with two channels. Because you just pick up your phone and you start talking, or you record one place and you chop it up, and you say, okay, I'm going to sit down and record something, and you can do this on your computer. You don't have to use the phone. Whatever you use and record, I want to talk about fashion. I want to talk about this today. And then 5 minutes, and then cut, and then say, if you want to keep the same shirt or change a shirt or put a whatever, and then say, okay, now I'm going to talk about the golf. See, that's how you do it. And you just 5 minutes, you're in and out, instead of a production of a set and a this and a that. And having like a, that's what we used to do in the ad game, the set and the director and the makeup lights, and we don't do that anymore. This is your studio. This is your studio.
So
There's some comments. Yeah.
I'm gonna tie in William's thing, and then we'll go back to Mark's
Okay.
comment. Well, I'm gonna go to Mark first. Mark said
Yeah.
regarding the RV that he has friends that have traveled around in their RV for a couple of years, going where they wanted and working remotely. They went to every state in the continental U.S. Because you get what? There's Wi-Fi everywhere now. And then
Yeah.
William says, yes, and the content that has been making him money kind of puts him in a bad mood, but it makes money. But eventually he wants to walk away from it. It's like gossip stuff.
Okay. So this is the deal. So you're gonna have to ease up off one and gas up the other, if you know what I mean. Like
Mm-hmm.
when you're driving a manual transmission car. Remember those?
Yeah, the
You
clutch
had
and
the
get
clutch
off
and
the
the gas.
clutch and give it a
Yeah.
little gas. Yeah,
But see, here's the good thing, William. You realize that you're not happy. A lot of
right.
people are stuck, and especially in YouTube world and Instagram, where they are doing things because it makes them money and they are afraid to stop doing it because it makes money, but it makes them, there's a whole initiative around mental wellness, mental health, feeling better. And I've been saying this for a while. It's going to ramp up even more, where you are going to want to do what makes you feel good and not what makes you feel bad online social media.
And make
And
just because it makes money.
right. And you're going to be able to make money from the good stuff that makes you feel good. That's why I'm talking about the creator economy.
Yes.
We're just getting started. We're at the gate of it. It's just beginning. And it's going to be a million paths. There won't be one specific path. Like, okay, you go to high school, you go to college, you get a job, you get married, you buy a house. It's not going to be that. It's going to be, you're going to make whatever it is that you want to make. You're going to find an audience. You're going to make money. Because why? These businesses and brands are going to come around to the fact that they don't have to spend millions of dollars on ads for TV. They can dole out a little bit of cash here, there, and there to influencers, to creators who already created and has the audience that they want to get in front of.
Right.
See, that's the deal. But you got to be there making the content. Without the audience, without you're on stage and nobody's in the audience. And you got to do the play until it becomes Broadway show where it's a packed house. See? People don't realize that. Because once you get to the packed house, that's when the brands and the sponsors and the this, and you figure out the monetization. It will come to you. But you've got to be there ready and willing and able to do it. And that means, like you said, doing something that makes you feel good versus this is what makes money, but I don't like it, but I'm doing it anyway. And
Right.
that's don't put yourself down for that. Everybody's doing that. Because it's hard to stand in the spot of this is what I want to like to do. It's a niche market. I don't have Kim Kardashian numbers. You don't need Kim Kardashian 100 and 200 million followers to get a life that supports you. And that's where Gen Z comes in and says they're doing what they want.
William says it's like building little rentals before you have tenants.
Yes, you can't rent if you don't have the units.
And here's the thing, and I'm going to post this because I posted this a few years back. The best way to get new clients is take care of the ones you got. So if you have a few people that are following you and you put out great content, those few people are going to tell other people and share your content, and it's word of mouth, but it happens and it builds. And it builds organically.
See, and that's the key. Organically.
We just have to be consistent, keep talking, and keep sharing.
But see, that's why when people say do what what you like, what you love, what's your passion, because you have to do it even if nobody's watching or listening or sitting in the audience. Like I said, you're on Broadway. The audience is empty. I mean, you're not on Broadway. You're off Broadway, and you're doing this play. And a good example of this is Tyler Perry. Oh my God, I just thought of it when I was thinking of play. He tells the story of how he would take a job and quit the job because he would get somebody to back his play, and he would pack everything and leave and quit the job. And then he said at one point he was it wasn't catching, and he said he had a job, and he said, I'm gonna, he asked God, should I keep the job or should I, do this play one more time? And he did it one more time, and that was the one that took off for him.
Yep.
And but he had to do it. See, he was in that part where it was like, I got this job and I'm paying my bills. Okay, if I quit my job, I live in the car. And he's lived in the car a lot.
Okay,
But he
but
was
that's
doing what he loved.
okay. But
See?
see, living in a car right now is a thing. It is a thing. There are people on the road with Anthony or something. He got a YouTube channel, and he was living in his car, cooking jambalaya and doing some other stuff and recording video. I was like, and got followers, got subscribers, and people who are
But
following
ask
him, and
yourself
people.
why though. But why? Why does he have followers? He doesn't have a set. He doesn't have production. It's not
Mm-mm,
Real Housewives of Atlanta or whatever these shows that are reality show. It's not that. It's not manufactured.
it was not.
See, people are manufacturing content, getting mad when people aren't buying or they're not being seen, like the lady on Instagram talking about Instagram. And I was like, well, if you make something of value that people want or need and you keep doing it, eventually you'll be found. Here's the word, eventually. That's the word that everybody cannot put up with.
That requires patience, consistency, and
What does
determination.
eventually do? You start out TDJs as if you're a pastor? Do you start out as TDJs?
You
No,
had
you
to have
start
him
out,
with them three people in your front row.
yeah,
You
in
start.
the folding chairs in an empty room. And I believe Joel Osteen tells this story too about how his father started the church, and it was like that. They were in a feed store or something. But look at what they have now. They have a mega church in, was it Houston?
Yes.
But it was his father that did that. But what did they do? Consistently have services and do what, and it grew. So I always say eventually. People have a hard time with the eventually.
They want it now. We want instant.
It's like, okay, social media is there. I got my link in bio. People should be buying. But what are you giving? Does anybody want it? If they don't, find
Mm.
out why. Find out what's wrong. Why, if you've got your system set up, and I like to talk about systems a lot, and I'm going to start talking about that more, but you need a framework, a system. Once you have that in place, and it's easy to do on social media, the rest is your message and where is the message broken, because it's a customer journey. It's not, I got my Instagram and here's my post, here's the link in bio, and I tell them to go buy it in the link on bio and nobody buys. There's a disconnect. Figure out where it is. Maybe you need to do more content. Maybe you need to be promoting. Maybe you need to do some other things. I've seen so many people on threads. I've read their conversations. One lady said that she got business from just being on podcasts, being a guest on podcasts. Because she asked him, how did you find me? You were on a podcast with so and so.
Mm-hmm.
That's the key. You must ask. Ask them, well, how did you know? Where did you find me? That's easy to do. Ask an email, a survey, a form, whatever way you want to do it. But she said she gets business from being on podcasts. So you need to think about your messaging, where you want to be. It's no longer cut and dry to be the one path. Creator economy is here. You can create the world that you want to be in, doing the thing that makes you happy. And I'll say one more thing before we end. I remember way back one of the shows we did. I did a story about a man with a hot sauce website. All he talked about was hot sauce. I gotta look that guy up and see if he's still in business and what he's doing.
He's just,
But
yeah, there are people
but-
still doing hot sauce YouTube channels. I know that.
right, but this was wow, this was like maybe 2015, 26, something like that. That he's doing, and that was before people were doing the niche content that they're doing now. He was talking about hot sauce, different hot sauce, blogging about hot sauce. So, but if that person that was talking about hot sauce in 2016, if they kept it up and did the things and studied the trends and followed and this and that and have everything set up, they can make a living from talking about hot sauce, because that's a thing. People need guests on other podcasts, like the lady that got the business from being on podcasts, or a live stream, or a guest blogger, or a speaker. Who would want a speaker about hot sauce? An expert, mind you, an expert. He didn't go to school for it, but he knows, because that's my business to know. I make it my business to know, keep up with the trends, keep up with the knowledge. And in the hot sauce industry or in the food industry, there's lots of industry trade magazines and publications who would be interested in inviting this man that talks about hot sauce to who's the biggest hot sauce maker, whoever makes sriracha or Texas Pete, or who that they could get a deal with that brand, because they built up and consistently talked about hot sauce as a passion, not because this is what makes me money. It didn't make it money then. But what I'm saying is, if you're doing the thing because it's making money, that's not a sustainable path.
Correct.
The path is sustainable is the one that you care about, you're passionate about, and you love talking about it. That would be the key. So it's always your messaging. It's never the platform. Instagram can change their algorithm 100 different million ways. If your messaging is on point and you know how to get in front of people and talk, whatever platform, whatever way you like, you can make a business. The creator economy is here. And it's growing bigger. That's it.
It is. Woo, we're going to have to get into the creator economy.
Oh yeah, this is just the beginning. This is not, we're talking about it because it finally has a name. Because we were saying influencer before, but I'm not talking about influencer. That's like one subset of the creator economy. We're in an economy where the internet allows you to create the world that you want, and you can sustain it, and you can be financially sustained and compensated in many different ways, and even more ways. Because remember, generative AI, that thing is just opening up doors.
It is.
So, and it'll be good and bad. Good and bad. I'm not saying it's 100% good. I'm not saying 100% bad. I'm just saying it's opening doors. So
it is. So
there you have it.
This is good. We'll be back with some more. TJ always brings it when she comes. So check her out at terryjohnsononline.com/info. Follow.
I mean, online, Terry Johnson Online, every platform you want to be on.
Yep. Follow her. Get connected. Follow her, especially on Threads and Discord. I get my updates and things of that nature. Like, oh, so this is what's happening.
I got to work on my Discord because Twitter X messed me up with my automated. So my news.
But if you can't find, you can't get the updates, you're definitely gonna be able to get them Tuesdays.
Yeah.
At 11 a.m. Eastern. You will get the updates coming back here every week.
Just remember, everything's a work in progress. Even with your own business, everything's a work in progress. You try this, you try that, you taste this, you test that, and you see what works. You keep tweaking it, and it's like a radio. Remember radio buttons? You would get the station on a little button. That's what it is.
And we still are tweaking. We are still tweaking things.
Yeah.
We have to pivot.
Oh yeah.
we're going to help you make that pivot when it's time to start paying. You're going to have to
Right.
figure out
Because
how
see,
you going.
marketing trends are important. And we're coming up at the end of the year. So I'm going to be talking about marketing trends for 2024 real soon. You have to know those things because they allow you to know where to pivot. Where do I need to make a course correction or change? What's the speed bump that's coming up? You need to know that. Okay.
Right. So
All right.
follow Terry, follow Bizchicks, become a part of the Bizchicks community. You can text Biz to 33777, or you can just go to bizchicks.net. However you follow, just follow. There's no cost to do so. We will always bring you awesome information that you can use immediately to take the hassle out of your hustle and build a profitable business that's fun to run. So we will see you tomorrow with Coach Karen, Thursday with Robin, and then we will the tech divas will be in the house on Friday because there's a lot of stuff to talk about with social media, tech, and media.
Yep.
So come join us on Friday, same time, 8 a.m. Pacific, 11 Eastern time.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for being here. We will see you next time.
Thanks, everybody.
On bizchicks.net.
Bye, everybody. Enjoy.
It's not playing for some reason.
Yeah. Halloween.
Yeah. Stand by.
Want me to try it?
Yes, please.
Oh, wait. Do we do? I'm never closed. Do we do the
one down on the bottom, the video clip, top one?
Okay.